would get that overcharge. Not really
But you should be charged the same
initial
for
charge.
300 as 399, is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that instead of having instead of being allowed 400, I'm only being allowed 300. So, but I understand I probably need to contact the water department for that.
Yeah, if you call up here, you know, during normal work hours and somebody can take the time to sit down with you and explain.
You
Probably
can go
better
through and
detail
look
than
at all
us
you've
anyway.
used for the last year.
And there are mistakes, and we have meters that are bad, and they're very quick about, you call them, they'll send somebody out there to check your meter right away. I've had a meter changed out 3 times, because I call and complain too. You're getting those same bills y'all are talking about.
All right, thank you.
So, thank you. Anybody else before we close this hearing?
Yeah, I just wanna know, you're talking about, Long. Is that gonna go all the way to paving, gonna go all the way to Jacksboro Highway? or-
Yes, ma'am.
To the boulevard.
We open bids on the
Drainage
curb,
issues.
the curb and gutter, we open bids on them next Tuesday, I think it is, Jeremy, wherever you are. We open bids on that Tuesday, and then, I don't know, maybe 30 days for them to start work. Once they finish the curb and gutter, I don't know if everybody knows this, but we're also participants with Tarrant County on their bond. So everything is 50 cents on the dollar that Tarrant County pays, we pay 50 cents.
They pay 50, you pay.
Yeah, and so then Long Avenue, the whole Long Avenue will be paved after that.
So, Jeremy.
And that's what I started to tell you earlier, is that we're pretty much already in line for several roads, but because of that 50% discount, sometimes we've got to wait until they get to us. We've also been waiting quite a bit on Atmos, for instance. We got Roberts Cutoff ready to pave, let everybody know that we were doing it, all the utilities. We tore up the road, got ready to redo it, and they called us up and said, well, if y'all are going to put in a new road, let us put in the new gas lines first. So we were delayed 6 weeks or more as they came in and did their lines that we had let them know a year in advance. So we are, and there's other cities that they're in line for these same services. So we already have projects lined up that we just have to wait our turn to get to, and we're trying to fund that money. But as a council, I can tell you that we heard that streets are really one of our top priorities, so we've tried to really focus on that, but it's just
And
takes
so
time.
Marvin and the City Works Department, you have slotted 7 to be redone starting in January for next year? I mean, we're
Next
not
year, I think we
stopping.
got 9 waiting. We go to Black Oak next, on that end of town. And then from Black Oak, by then the curb and gutter will be done, we'll do Long. That's next, after Black Oak. And then after Long, we've got some of those streets in there that you're talking about, Montrose, I think. Is Montrose one we added we had it extra,
We added Thurston, Almena.
Thurston and Almena, okay.
Yes, sir.
Give us a quick rundown over the top of your head of what we've kind of already got on the schedule for the following.
What we've already got on the
year or two.
schedule, what we've completed.
No, on the schedule.
Well, let's start with what you've completed real quick.
What we've completed is Bird was our very first street. And then we tied in, we did Woodlawn in that area. I believe those were the very first 2. And then I'm sure I'm gonna miss a couple. But currently, we're on Barbara, which is 50% completed. From there, we're going to Black Oak from Roberts Cutoff to Gillum, complete full reconstruct, majority of it. And then from there, we're going to Yale. We will do the Yale from the Boulevard all the way to Roberts Cutoff. From there, we are moving it along, as Mr. Gregory said. The curb and gutter will take place, and once that's completed, then they can move into construction for Long.
And Atmos has Atmos finished with Long?
Atmos has already cleared Long, yes, they have.
So really, within the next month, I think I heard you say they start on the curb
Curb and gutter,
project.
yes,
And
ma'am.
so by, would you project January
I'm
maybe to start on
anticipating an
Long?
early part of the year. January,
So, I live on Barbara, and the dust is ridiculous because there's no rain, and I can never, get to my house at lunchtime, and I don't know if I can go straight home or if I have to make 5 blocks to get home. But I will tell you, one of their construction guys said, I know that you're gonna be glad when this is over with. And I said, well, yes, but you know what, you will not hear me complain because this is progress. And so I just want to encourage y'all, when long is done, that's gonna be, that's gonna be hard. All the cars parked on the street, all of that is gonna have to find, and so,
Oh, yeah.
it's called progress. So, just want y'all to be preparing for that. It will be, I guess several months, probably.
That one will take several months,
Yeah.
being because it's so long and so wide. That is one of the widest streets in the
Yeah.
city,
Mhm. So you have a lot of concerns, and, for us to get there, and then we get there and you still have a lot of concerns. So take it easy on everyone involved. But that's right around, you're hearing it from the horse's mouth. There's no more
It's
years
on the
and
list.
years and years down the road,
scheduled.
January.
Well, so, but when you say curb and gutter,
Yes, ma'am.
That's
aren't
water.
those streets already curb and gutter?
They are, but they're
old.
they're very, very poor condition. Most of the drainage that comes down Long ends up out in the middle of the street, causing some flooding and some road hazards. So therefore, we replace the curb and gutter, to keep the water in that curb, that's what the curb and gutter's for. Keep that water in there for the drainage way.
And Bird, we did that too, did all
Yes,
new
sir.
approaches and curb and everything.
But you didn't have to, I live on Barbara, you didn't have to do that on Barbara.
No, ma'am, the curb and gutter was
Barbara's
very,
not
I had
in
a
the same
few
shape.
spots, but that was it.
Okay.
And we do analyze all that. That does go into effect when we do analyze these streets. We do a lot of analyzation goes into these before we.
Engineers and everything.
Oh,
It's-
yeah, there's
It's
a
not
ton.
just that they pick out a road and scrape it off and do it. This is a lot.
And you said when you do Long that you're putting in a storm drainage system?
No, sir, we did not have the money with stormwater for that. That's where the curb and gutter is.
So we're gonna be, if we have potential downforce again, and they overflow the curbs and the gutters, then it's gonna be flooding the streets anyway, because there's no other main.
There is drainage down through there. It flows downhill, like I said, to River Oaks Boulevard into a box culvert. So, and then it goes underground, and it goes into the Fort Worth system.
And
Some of that was redone, wasn't it?
A little bit of it, yes.
I thought that's what Long was waiting on, some of that, I
Some of
thought.
the lower part was redone.
That's what I was thinking, over there, kind of where the new construction.
And then with this curb and gutter as well, they will do some repair to some of the current inlet boxes that are in place now for better drainage conditions.
but is Long still gonna be dropping all that water into 1950s drainage systems that we've got down there?
Yes, sir, and we're, matter of fact, we've been in several meetings currently with the 183 project that TxDOT does have going. We just had our first drainage meeting last week, with talks, they're upgrading their systems all throughout River Oaks.
So you know that Meandering Road is being completely redone by TxDOT, and so is River Oaks Boulevard, right? So that's where a lot of that will be repaired by them when they come through.
And along with 199 project they have.
That's right, yes.
So we have three major projects fixing it.
Well, that's another thing about meandering. Meandering, a lot of the traffic that goes down meandering is going either to the naval base or Fort Worth. But yet, it's River
It's definitely
Oaks
going to
Road.
Fort Worth one way or another.
But it's River Oaks Road, and look who's paying for the upkeep. If we don't get the help from TxDOT
TxDOT's
or
paying for all
something
that.
else,
TxDOT and Fort
Exactly.
Worth are funding that project
but
with COG.
But once they fund it and they put it in, who's responsible for the upkeep?
We will.
Exactly. And most of the traffic that goes through there and causes damage to the road after it's put in is Fort Worth and the naval base.
But it's also going to be concrete, it's not going to be...
I guess you could say that about every street when you're surrounded by Fort Worth. We're a small community inside one. I'm gonna close this public hearing now at 7:30. I appreciate all the input. Now, action for public hearing, consider approval of ordinance 1385-2023, adopting the railroad operating